I am going to be checking out the state of play. This came out like a day ago, and there's still more like major reveals that are going to be going on today. I think Summer Games Fest is going on today, as well as the Xbox Showcase will be happening like a day or two from now. I can't remember the exact date. In any case, there's a lot of major announcements that are going on throughout this week. Didn't have time to check up the state of play during its initial release. So we're going to go ahead and check it out, get caught up, and see what games have been announced. I've seen one or two things that have been announced through social media that are definitely exciting to see. But I'm very curious to see what else is going on, because I know that these are definitely the times in where these major publishers, especially Sony, will be showing some of their, not only their exclusives, but their major projects that they want the public to know about. And I think that Sony makes some great exclusives when they release, when they actually come out. But yeah, I think they make some of the most top tier exclusives I've ever seen. So I'm very curious to see what's going on. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. First game then. Seems like a music beat game. Kind of reminds me of I'm gonna pause it real quick. If anyone's seen a game called Amplitude, it kind of reminds me of that. If it's before your time, it was a PlayStation 2 music beat game. Granted, it's not exactly like it, but that's the game that comes to mind when it comes to music beats. Kinds of games where, you know, you press an input in succinct with the musical beats. That's my current vibe right now of this.
Love is making waves, emotion running through our veins, heartbeat. Love is making waves. I'm facing my fears, not backing away. I'm facing my fears, not backing away.
Okay. Looks like more like a Tetris game, like a music Tetris. Oh, this is weird. Oh, so it's like a musical Tetris. Got it. My brother will love this. Let's show this to my brother. My brother loves these kinds of games. Luminous Arise.
Love is making waves.
Okay. Definitely for a very particular audience. Hang on a second here, guys. I also forgot to start up my TikTok live. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this started. Now that that's all set up. So my first impressions of what I saw from what's it called again? Luminous Arise. Definitely a musical beat kind of game. I'm not the target demographic for something like that, but like I said, I know people that would love these kinds of games. It definitely looks pretty cool when it comes to like a musical beat Tetris. I wouldn't say it's something necessarily new, but what it is definitely kind of, it definitely takes an interesting approach to the Tetris like approach to the game, to that game format. It's definitely cool.
Hello from Enhance. I'm Tetsuya Mizuguchi. ディレクターの石原隆です。ルミネスアライズのトレーラー楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。この秋、PlayStation 5、PSVR2 対応で発売予定です。 ルミネサーライズはバラエティ豊かな曲と美しいビジュアルが没入感を高め、
Okay, so it is a like flashy style Tetris-y style game. Can't wait for the new Marvel fighting game coming out next year. So I did hear about that on social media. I don't know too much about it. I just know that there is a new Marvel fighting game. I know that there was definitely rumors of a new Marvel fighting game coming out in the works. I thought that it would be through like a developer of like NetherRealm or something like that. I don't know who the developer is yet, and I guess I know that they're supposed to show that in the showcase today. So I'm very curious to see what it looks like. By the way, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you as always, bud. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what it's going to look like. At least aesthetically, I'm definitely going to be curious.
いつまでも遊びたくなるゲーム体験となっています。その世界はとても心地よく、プレイヤーを共感覚の世界へと導きます。
まあよくある普通のパズルゲームってことだよね。
I don't know.
テトリスエフェクト
Those kind of puzzle games tend to stress me out a little bit.
ルミネスアライズはただのパズルゲームではありません。
So you are trying to beat the speed and of the game in a lot of ways.
ぜひ皆さん
The
手
game
に
gets
取って
faster,
遊んでみてください。
more chaotic.
Thank you and enjoy the rest of State of Play.
All right, so they're starting off real. Don't worry, I won't spoil who it is. Okay. No.
The future. It isn't just a dream. It's a promise. One we're turning into reality. With our third generation of Luna filament and advanced generative AI,
Ow. New
we're
technology.
shaping the line between dreams and reality. We create life for our future. Delphi Corporation.
A game? Or just a technological... Yeah, it might just be a technological brand. Oh, no, here we go.
We passed through to Earth. And why are these things trying to kill us?
What are they starting out with right here?
There you are. All better.
Oh, it's this game! They showcased this like 3 years ago. I wonder where this game went all this time. I forgot what it's called, though. That's right, it's from Capcom. I only recognize it because...
03367. They are pragmatic.
Hang on a second. Don't you have a name or something? Good. Get behind me!
I think I can help.
Okay.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
It's kind of like a Resident Evil style kind of game. Just a different kind of Resident Evil game.
Bypassing first and second firewalls. Hooking control protocols. Initiating hack.
Pragmata. Aesthetically, it looks really cool, but there's still a lot that we don't know about with this game.
I said I.
You know, seeing some pretty basic stuff.
Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Very sorry. It's real. So now they have a final release date. They must have been polishing up the game quite a bit. I'm still a little surprised that they're not showcasing more gameplay right now. At least they gave us a glimpse. The art style is really cool, I won't lie. And it's clearly tugging at the heartstrings a little bit with its approach to storytelling, but I would like to see more gameplay for what it's trying to showcase.
Hey, today is Saturday, which means
This.
curry time.
Awesome! I love curry.
Speaking of curry, apparently the current president is actually
Looks like an
a
indie game.
What does that mean? It's okay, I'll get it.
Curry time!
Romeo!
What the hell?
Stay with me!
What is going on?
Romeo, listen up. You're gonna die in about 15 seconds.
Seriously?
Seriously, don't worry. I made this just in case. The dead gear life support system. Don't move, okay?
What is going on here? Oh my. What the? What is going on? This is bizarre, and this is my kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie, this is dope. But I have no idea what I'm looking at.
From now on, you're half dead man. No, wait, that's pretty lame. Dead man. From now on, you're
Oh, wow.
dead man.
Romeo's a dead man. Oh, it's an action? Okay, so it's an action game. I kinda wish it kept the old art style, the other art style, though. This is definitely weird, though. Got a cool vibe to it, though. This is a pretty cool action game, though. It looks like a mix between Devil May Cry mixing with... There's this game back in the PlayStation 2 that was called something of the Damned. I can't remember what it was called. Souls of the Damned or something like that. It was made by Shinji Mikami, and it was basically like Resident Evil 4, but wacky as hell, like a parody of old classic horror stories and horror comic. It was awesome. It was an awesome Shadow of the Damned. That's the name of the game. Shadow of the Damned. It's like a mix between Shadow of the Damned and a little bit of Devil May Cry. It's definitely got a vibe to it that I kind of like. Sorry if I keep coughing, guys. The air quality currently where I live isn't too great, so it's been causing me to cough a lot.
I'm on your back.
And it's like high pollen right now. The pollen count at my area is really bad, so it's causing me to cough and wheeze a little bit. So if I'm doing that, that's what's going on.
皆さんこんにちは。グラスホッパーの役者の須田剛一です。いえいえ。皆さんトレーラーどうでした？
Okay.
グラスホッパーの
He's
久々
having
の
a
新
good
作
time.
ロミオ・イザ・デッドマンです。いよいよ発表できました。このゲームはですね、主人公のロミオがロミオスターゲーザーという名前なんですけど、かっこいいでしょ。時空犯罪
This guy's
捜査官として
character.
凶悪なですね指名手配犯をさまざまな時空に飛んで、倒していくそんな、ブラッディーなアクションゲームとなっています。そして今回はですね、剣だけじゃありません。銃も使えます。ストロングスタイルのアクションゲームとして、チーム一丸となって頑張って作ってます。そしてなんで、タイトルがですねロミオなのにデッドマンなのか、それは皆さんぜひ続報をお待ちください。プレイステーション30周年過ぎちゃいましたけどおめでとうございます。それでは引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
Fun guy. Romeo as a dead man definitely looks like a game that's kind of aimed at someone like me. I love action slash. Oh, is this the new Silent? Yeah, I heard that Silent Hill F made an appearance in this state of play.
今は誰かと喋りたくて。
私も後から行くね。
じゃあね。
裏切り者。
This is definitely the game I'm most curious about right now with Silent Hill F because Silent Hill 2 remake I hear was nothing but fantastic. It had some flaws here and there is what I was told, but it is a very good game from what I've been told. And I'm very curious to see this new environment they're going to be diving into and how it ties into the Silent Hill universe. Artistically, it looks incredible. Oh, whoa, these are some wicked monster animations. Ooh, I love these monster designs. Whoa! Okay, so our character's very clumsy. I even like her fighting pose. It's like really timid. Oh my god! Was dying part of the mechanic in the game?
ひなこ。
にいるの？
いなくはいいよね。何でも持ってる。
Oh, all of her classmates got
あん
turned.
たがいなくなってくれるんだからせいぜいする。
Oh, whoa. Dude, this looks wild.
寂しいよ。
Oh. Oh, dude, that's gonna be terrifying.
ずっと一緒だよって約束したよね。暗いのは嫌。
So the fact that they're showing so much gameplay right now shows me that they're very confident in the product that they're releasing. This is a good sign for a game like this. This is really good. Oh wow. What a boss. Oh my, these monster designs.
裏切り者。
Ooh, great trailer. That was a good trailer. Well done. That was a very good trailer. That was awesome. I even like the way that she holds her weapon. You can tell that she's fighting in a way that's really reserved and clumsy.
The castle has been sighted again. The church's orders
The
are
wolf
absolute.
around him.
These
The
human
wolf,
sacrifices
wolf
must be
pelt.
stopped. We will track the ethereal castle.
Okay, hang on a second here. All right, hold up a second here. I gotta look back at this real quick. This is jarring. This character right here, this model, looks hyper realistic, right?
The castle has been sighted again. The
It looks
church's
distinguishably
orders are absolute.
unique.
These human sacrifices must be.
And then you see this, and I don't know what it is about this that doesn't look too great. There's something about, it could be the lighting here, but something about that looks a little rough to me. I just can't get over that. It just looks a little, ugh. But whatever.
Be stopped. We will track
Might be the
ethereal
eyes?
castle.
I don't know.
Break its gates.
It's like a
and
Castlevania style
exterminate
game.
the creatures that dwell within. The demon
Is this a
lord himself
two-player
will
co-op
fall
game?
by our hand.
Like a two-player Castlevania style game?
Limits of your courage. You will face horrors beyond your darkest imaginings. Beasts.
So it looks like Xbox, or not Xbox, PlayStation is looking to challenge the Metrovania empire of Nintendo, because Nintendo basically owns the Metrovania games right now with Metroid. They've effectively like just dominated the market on their platform. So it looks like PlayStation's bringing this to kind of challenge that. You know, this looks good. This looks really good. Like a beat 'em up style Castlevania. It almost feels like a 2D fighter, like a Metrovania style 2D fighter. This looks dope.
With me. Cross.
Tonight, we start our mission.
Well, Death destroys. Bloodstain, the Scarlet Engagement. Okay. That actually looks dope. So is that a PlayStation exclusive? Published. This could be a PlayStation exclusive by the looks of it. I don't know. It says wishlist now, but I don't see Steam or any other platform. It might be a PlayStation exclusive. That'd be wild if that is.
So you've come, dogs of the church, right into the palm of my hand.
At least we know the voice actors are awesome.
The visuals of Shinjuku that I'm seeing are a hellscape I
This
can't quite put into words.
Namco showing us today.
You've
It's like an
somehow been
anime
sent
fight,
back
like
in
an
time
anime
8
style kind of
years.
game.
But the situation here is critical.
Anime RPG.
I'm counting on you, Agent.
Digimon. Oh wow, Digimon. Really?
Our ultimate mission is to uncover the causality between these anomalies.
It's probably a phase electron life form. Is that what you call us, Digimon? I'll always be right here with you.
Who exactly are you working for? I remember you guys.
Man, I am so out of touch with Digimon.
You really don't know anything about
The last time I ever saw Digimon, I was like
the first time the Titans
8
have
or
launched
9
an
years
attack on
old.
this scale.
We now believe most of the anomalies we've been dealing with stem from
And
Digimon.
I think I only watched
seems
like
the
the
upcoming
kids
battle is
show,
truly
you know, the one with the song that goes
The world on this end is
Digimon,
running out of
Digimon
time.
monsters.
If the
Digimons
gates
are the
open
champions,
and the
that, you know,
digital
that
world
TV
is
show.
extinct, the human world will
And I think I only played the one PS1 game that released, and that was it. I never touched the series or got caught up with it, so I'm way out of touch with it right now.
Egg is very important.
No idea where they've gone with it now.
The world tree has been attacked.
It's just as great one. Plutomon said.
Honestly, Digimon kind of reminds me of a like more mature version of Pokemon in a lot of ways.
Then we'll be swarmed.
I'm sure it was the idea behind the marketing around it.
Riding on you.
You know, an entry point for people that are moving from like Pokemon as kids into like that teenage years, that preteen to teenage years. I forgot what they call that. Shonen Jump? I think it's going to be a Shonen Jump. Creative Studio 3.
Oh, Father.
Okay, I know what this is. Yeah, tactics, right? I know it's tactics because I saw this on my feed, my social media feed, which I have mixed feelings about, but it depends on what they've done with the game. My biggest hope with Final Fantasy Tactics is that they added voice acting, because I love the politics in this game. This game has some of the most unique and dark Game of Thrones style politics in Final Fantasy by far. There is so much complexity in the storytelling of Final Fantasy Tactics. And I always wanted my wife to play the game, but she always had one major hurdle, which was that she wished that everything was voice acted. So if they added voice acting to the game, it will be worth the full price for me. Oh.
But deliver us from our sins, that we might know salvation.
And I'm not just talking about voice acting in the cutscenes. I'm talking about all voice acting, including these scenes right here.
If you feel wrong, blame yourself or the Father.
Why do you fight? Why walk this path of subterfuge and conflict?
I love this game.
Must rule the weak. It is
Whoa, 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 whoa! They revamped the game entirely.
Subterfuge and conflict.
Whoa, that's different. Oh, they even added a timeline up here. Past, present. So that way you can kind of keep track of where the story is going, so you know exactly where it is going. Or where things are going, what things are going on. And they added like a little brief like dialogue or summary, so you can follow the political events that are going on. Because that is a big problem with the original game, especially when it came out on PlayStation 1, is that it was very hard to follow the narrative structure if you weren't paying very close attention, because you could take a break from the game and you'd be lost for a while. So it required you to do a lot of like rereading and paying close attention to what is happening. And the game requires a lot of grinding in order to get your character strong enough to deal with some of the most demanding tactical situations in the game.
powerful must rule the weak. It is our duty.
What is that right there?
Of subterfuge and conflict.
The powerful must.
Yeah, I like a skill tree system. So the way that, oh, the job tree, oh, I get it now. Now it makes sense. So the way the job system worked, in case you're not familiar with Final Fantasy Tactics, the job system is that characters have classes, and you can switch classes with any character at any given point in time, each class having its own distinct strengths and distinct weaknesses. However, in order to unlock other classes, you would have to mix certain classes together by learning certain skills. So by you unlocking those skills, the class would level up over a period of time. And what would end up occurring is that if you unlocked a certain number of skills with one class and then unlocked another certain skills with other classes, you would unlock a totally unique class because you would be, you know, mastering both of those abilities. Like, let's take, for example, this one right here that's shaded out, you need to get this class to a certain level in order to access it, or you can unlock it using this class, or you have to do both at the same time depending on what the class is. It depends on what you're dealing with. This game is a classic. I love this game. It is one of my favorite games of all time. It holds a very special place in my heart.
Rule the weak. It is our duty. Heavens
Stadio,
fall upon
yep.
your crown.
That busted ass character. Yes! Yes! Oh! I just saw it! There is voice acting! There is voice acting! Oh!
This vile charade has...
Yes! Yes! Thank God they added voice acting! I can get my wife to play this game now. She's gonna love this!
gone on long enough. It ends now.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Do you remember when your father showed us how to make a whistle of a blade of grass?
Yeah. The story between Delita and Ramza is so good. It is so complicated, and how their lives diverge. I won't spoil it for those of you that have not seen the game or played it, because it is an old game, and there are many of you that have not seen it, so I won't spoil that. But my God, they go to such different paths, and it is fascinating. It is such a good story. Classic and oh great, they have the classic version and the enhanced version. I kind of like that because the classic design is really cool. War of the Lions translation, new interface, extended features, additions, adjustments to the story, really. So they changed it, fully voiced and much more. So the enhanced is the one I will be playing. Oh, that's dope that they offer both. So for those of you that don't know, that War of the Lions is a re-release where they altered the dialogue to make it fit the time period that it was in. The original version on the PlayStation 1 had very like old dialogue, like old translation, because of the English translators at the time really focused on just kind of telling the story through very bland dialogue, and a lot of it is because they viewed the games to be aimed at like young kids, so they interpreted the story like directly as opposed to like fitting it within the archetype of what the story should be telling. So the dialogue in the original game was very like, I have this to do, while the War of the Lions translation is, I must do this, and it adds like this old Englishy thing to it, like old Englishy accent and old Englishy kind of dialogue approach to the words. I mean, I'm not expressing it the best way, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. But I'm glad they're adding an enhanced version that adds full dialogue. It is so nice that they're adding that. One of the things that I want to do is that I know that there is a mod that's coming out for Final Fantasy VIII that will add voice acting to the entire game. And when that releases, I will be playing that on stream entirely, because I love the idea of being able to play these old games that are fully voice acted and being able to experience that vocal capture. Hopefully they got a good cast in. We'll see. We'll see. Evil East Chronicles. Nice! That's awesome.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson.
And I'm Sid Schumann, here to deliver news and release dates for games coming to PS5 later this year.
We hope you enjoyed that first look at Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles. The game will include 2 versions of the original PlayStation Classic. The enhanced version, which features improved graphics, fully voiced dialogue, refined gameplay, and much more. As well as the classic version, which brings a faithful recreation of the 1997 original to modern consoles.
Keep it up, man. Keep doing it. You'll get there, I promise. Just keep doing your best.
Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evil East Chronicles launches on PS5 and PS4 September 30th, and will be available for pre-order later today.
Maybe someday you'll be a voice actor for one of the Final Fantasy Tactics games in the future.
Game is something
if they ever make
really
a sequel.
Special. When I first played it, I laughed so hard I almost barfed. Let's check it out.
But is there maybe just toilet?
Never know.
Toilet? Yeah, I just need to pee.
How badly?
Just normal.
Just normal.
Just go behind this bush. I'll wait.
I can run away.
Pea shy.
No.
Yeah, no,
He's
shy.
Watching.
You can watch.
What is this
In
game?
baby steps, all you have to do is carefully place one foot in
Oh,
front
it's
of
another
the other,
I Am Bread style
which is easier
game.
said than done. Main character Nate requires some pretty deliberate movement to make even the simplest progress.
This is a streamer's game.
It's a captivating open-world experience filled with oddball characters.
Here we go. Knock up. Oh, you found it even without a map. The best toilet on the mountain.
Oh, good.
These kinds of indie games are
Definitely check
are
this one out
meant
when it comes to PS5
for
on
streamers,
September 8th.
for people to laugh and have fun with their favorite streamers and watch them get frustrated. I mean, I don't know a lot about Final Fantasy, but if I do get a voice role, I will do my best. Yeah,
Origami is a unique
the best that you can
action
do.
adventure title from Bandai
If you keep
Namco
working towards it,
Studios
you'll get there.
Singapore. In this journey to save your origami home, you'll transform
It's
into
never too
paper
late.
shapes with distinct abilities, including a paper airplane, a nimble frog, a hardy armadillo, and a powerful ape. Master the art of
Origami.
folding
So it's
when
kind of a
Origami
platformer.
arrives on PS5 later this summer. Sid, why don't you tee this next one up?
Thanks, Sean. The Hot Shots series has been with PlayStation from the very beginning, and its latest installment, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, boasts its largest character roster ever. Compete in courses from 10 different regions around the world, each with weather effects and new nighttime variants. Pre-orders begin later today. And those who do will get Bandai Namco's iconic Pac-Man as an early unlockable character. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots drives onto PS5 September 5th.
Family game. Games for the family.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is a challenging new entry in the long-running action franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to me that they're
From
doing
the
a 2D
makers of the
Ninja Gaiden
Blasphemous
game.
series, Ragebound stars dual protagonists from rival
Wow, the
clans
Blasphemous
forced to
series are
combine
doing
their
this one?
souls and skills against a
There's
demon
Ionic.
uprising. And longtime fans will really love the pulse-pounding soundtrack featuring guest composers from the original series.
Kind of wild to me that Ninja Gaiden is making a major comeback like this after so long being dormant.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound
But
arrives July
right now,
31st
action
on
games are
PS5
doing
and
better than
PS4.
ever because of like, I do think that Soulsborne games have really brought a
From
new
the game bakers,
a new
Cairn is a
life
survival climbing
into
experience where you must
action-adventure
carefully
games.
plan your ascent up a deadly mountain.
Dark Souls is kind of responsible for a lot of the revivals that we see
Manage balance
with a
and
lot of these
stamina
games
to
and how
discover
huge it
secrets.
got.
Hey, wait for me!
Encounter other climbers.
It may be an action
Nice to meet
RPG
you.
game, but it shares a
and
lot in
survive
common
the
with action
harsh
adventure
conditions
games.
of the climb.
Oh boy.
You can give it a try yourself with a demo that arrives later today.
This will be interesting. Fun climbing game.
That's all from us, but there's still a lot of State of Play to come.
This next reveal comes from the game preservationist at Digital Eclipse. Nothing can prepare you for their next collection, arriving later this year.
We knew pretty early on that the game was fun to play. People were excited about it.
The most rewarding part of it is just seeing people react to it.
So it's from the developers of Street Fighter.
We knew that we were onto something.
So it's an arcade game. Mortal Kombat. What does that have to do with Mortal Kombat?
Such a shock to see this game. I was like, I can't believe this game exists.
Oh, is it a Mortal Kombat collection? It's a Mortal Kombat collection, right? Yeah.
It became something that added to the mystique of Mortal Kombat.
We're showing you a part of a world that is much larger.
Wow. Oh wow, handheld editions even. Whoa! Really? They're even online functionality with these games?
It's a bit of the Wild
Dude,
West.
these games are busted.
Every part of that game is an expression of who we were and what we wanted to do.
Flawless victory.
Nowadays, I would expect rollbacks just to be a staple. You know, I don't think it should even be marketed as such. But it being online, those games are going to be busted, man. The competitive players that will be crushing anyone that tries to play those. Oh my god. Oh, they have a new fight stick for the PlayStation. You know, that's actually a cool design. I actually like that design. That's actually pretty sleek looking. Next.
We have evidence of an
Not gonna get it though. Oh, Metal Gear. Okay. What kind of gameplay are we looking at here?
I know he's close. Where did he go?
Find him. We're under fire. Enemy position.
Okay, so they're adding crouch walking into the game series.
Loading like this, it's a revolution.
I have a couple comments to say. I'm excited at the fact that they're keeping the game's DNA intact, that it's effectively a one-to-one recreation, but I have concerns about that. My major concern with Metal Gear being recreated and keeping it true to its DNA is that if you create a lot of modernization of the gameplay elements, it makes the game really easy then. And I know that's from personal experience because they did this with a remake of the first Metal Gear Solid game called Twin Snakes. Twin Snakes is significantly easier to that of the original game. Because the original game's map design and gameplay design were designed specifically for its gameplay structure. While Twin Snakes, though they did the best that they could to try to keep the game not only fresh, but also, you know, with its new gameplay mechanics to kind of feel like a, you know, a revitalized game. If you knew about, like, if you played the original and played it with the new format, the problem at hand is that the new format is so much easier because it's like, for example, there's a section in the first game with the hangar where if you're on the second floor of the hangar, you can't shoot at anyone down on the lower floor. So firing your gun is risky. So you have to sneak your way across down to the bottom floor without alerting anyone in the area. Otherwise you risk getting cornered because the second floor has very little places to hide, let alone very little places to actually maneuver and escape. So you want to get down there without alerting any enemy presence. But if you get to the second floor and you're equipped with a handgun, you can literally kill everyone without ever leaving the second floor because you have a bird's eye view of nearly everything. And that's kind of a bit of the gameplay imbalance. And so I'm a little worried that if they modernize too much of the gameplay mechanics, which is a good thing to do, you'll trivialize a lot of the challenges that were built into the third game, which is kind of where, like, I think that Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 do a perfect job of blending new gameplay mechanics, but changing the format enough to feel fresh. So that way, though it's still true to the DNA of the old game, you still get plenty of new gameplay experiences that make the game challenging and fits within its gameplay loop. That is very important. So if the game is too much like its similar old DNA, then it's not challenging because the gameplay mechanics are so overtuned, modernized for the limitations that were designed in the original game. So that's the big thing I'm worried about. And this is looking very similar.
You won't get away from me. Time for you to taste some.
So you're gonna have to make the enemies pretty strong otherwise.
I'm over here. Go back to your own world.
Man, this is looking good though. Man, like visually, fidelity wise. Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Maybe something going on here. Oh, they brought back the old monkey game mode. Cute. In case you don't know what this is a little... In case you don't know what the monkey game mode is, they did a re-release of Metal Gear Solid 3 called Subsistence, and Subsistence had an additional game mode along with additional packages into the game, like the original Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 game from the NES days. And the little mini game mode is like a 2-hour game mode, if even that, like an hour and a half, where you have to capture monkeys. So it's cool that they're adding that. I do, as cool as it is to see an upgraded coat of paint in a beautifulized version, or a modernized version of a old classic, I don't know if I feel that it's worth $70, $80 though. You know, that's my biggest gripe. I love seeing it visually fidelized, or I don't even know what the word is, but visually upgraded for modern hardware. But I would like to have a bit of a new experience with the game, you know? That's just me personally. Depends if they are hiding that stuff and only leaning into the nostalgia. But from what I'm hearing about reports, they are heavily leaning on to what the game is at its core DNA, which is just the original game, just upgraded. Hope we have new game modes. Oh, they're not doing Metal Gear Online, are they? They're not doing Metal Gear Online, are they? If that is the case, that might change everything. No shot! It's Metal Gear Online, isn't it? God. Okay, so Metal Gear Solid 5's multiplayer online is horrible, in my opinion. I think it's bad. But Metal Gear Solid 2, or not 2, Metal Gear Solid 4's online is a very special place in my heart. I love the multiplayer. It's got kind of like a SOCOM-ish vibe to it, but it has all the fun quirks of a Metal Gear game. If they keep it more closely in line with that game, with Metal Gear Solid, people call it Metal Gear Online 2. If they keep it more in line with the DNA of Metal Gear Online 2, I think it'll do great. So, and we saw some Octo camouflage there, so that could be fun. Especially the stealth camo, or team sneaking.
Spirit stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams.
Okay, so Dynasty Warriors guys
Since
working on a
time
project.
immemorial, this power has been the impetus for
Oh, is this a
human
Neo game?
wars.
I still have yet to. I have not finished the first Neo game. I got like probably. I bet only like a quarter of the way through the game. I gotta pick that back up. Damn. I loved that. I loved where I was playing with the first Neo game. I just ended up dropping off because timing just didn't work out for me. Other games started popping out, and I had to play them.
What makes a shogun? Here is my answer.
Okay. I'm not sure what I'm looking at entirely. Looks like you can switch classes somehow? Maybe switch equipment? Ooh, this looks dope, dude. Oh, it's an open world game, isn't it? I don't know if the second game is an open world game, but it looks like it's an open world game, or at least a semi-open world game. Looks like he's trying to challenge Elden Ring a little bit.
How foolish of you to have entered the depths of hell.
To me, Neo in a lot of ways is like the spiritual successor of the Onimusha series. I know that Onimusha is making a comeback, but I'm glad that Onimusha is going in a new direction with its combat system in order to differentiate itself from this franchise.
皆さん
Team Ninja. Oh, no wonder the gameplay is so damn fluid. It's from fucking Team Ninja.
今作のアクションはシリーズのおなじみのサムライスタイルに加え、新たに忍者スタイルを追加、より多彩な戦闘を楽しめます。
So they're adding 2 new combat styles, or not 2, but a new one.
探索や攻略の自由度や没入感が大幅にアッ
Yep,
プして
so
い
it's
ま
an
す。
open world game.
本日よりプレイステーション5で体験版
Oh
を
wow,
配信いたしますの
releasing
で、
the demo
ぜ
today.
ひプレイしてご意見をいただけれ
I
ば
have
と
so
思いま
many
す。
games I need to get caught up on.
2026年の発売に向け、続報にもぜひご期待ください。
Nice thing about these games is they never age. They maintain their quality throughout the ages, so I can always come back to them in the future. I'll eventually get to them at some point. Oh, PlayStation VR game.
Old the city really is. For me, it's all I've ever known. My whole world.
Weird to you.
I was raised in this city's shadow. Free to take whatever I need.
Don't overwork yourself about all the games coming out. Yeah, I try. Honestly, it's not like I'm overworking myself with the games. A lot of it really just comes down to the fact that I would love to be able to play all the games. Just real life responsibilities, you know? you gotta prioritize the things that I can.
This city hides many lost and legendary treasures.
Unfortunately, I do feel like a lot of games have like they're really, as well as great as they are, I do feel like the price of games have gone up so much that it's harder to buy games new. So I just wait for them to go on sale now.
Come with more trouble than others.
I thought I was dead.
Oh wow, another Thief game. A VR Thief game. I'm not entirely familiar with the Thief series because I know it's the OG original stealth game.
Are you there yet?
Is that another VR game?
Cleo has uncovered a formula for a cure, but she's keeping it safe in her
Dude, this
tower.
looks dope. What is this game?
Hey, you got some hosen?
Market Land seems a bit tense today.
Dude, this looks cool.
Something happened with another TIE Walker.
Time Walkers.
Damn it. It's gone. Someone beat us to it.
Multiplayer story.
Ever since the Great
What?
Flood, Elland, my dear planet, has been dying. Plastemia has taken everything from us. But you Tidewalkers are all connected.
What is going on?
And it's up to you now to use that power.
What is going on?
This is our new recruit! Please, help me.
So it's like a Mirror's Edge style game almost.
Will you help us?
Oh, this looks dope as shit. I hope this is not exclusive. Whoa! Tides of Tomorrow. Dude, the concept of this sounds really cool, but I don't entirely understand it. It sounds like to me, and my understanding is that it's a story-based game where other players influence your stories and you can re-engage those stories too.
To be back today to
I
share
don't know
more
for
news
sure.
with you. What the last few months
Astrobot.
has been in the world of Astro. Astrobot launched last September to such encouraging feedback.
Yeah.
Even receiving a few orders we are truly grateful for. In October, we added 5 speedrun levels, followed by a Christmas special packed with festive surprises.
Oh, wow, so they added a
This
bunch of
year,
free
the
updates.
Fishes Void Galaxy made its appearance, adding yet more new challenging levels.
This is
all
a
of
game I
which
do want to
came
play at some
no
point.
additional cost. And today, I am pleased to announce that later this month, you will be able to enjoy 5 brand new challenge levels in Astrobot, bringing the total to a whopping 90 planets. And new special bots will be there too, including Atsu from Ghost of Yotei, alongside other fans' favorites, but these ones are a surprise. And finally, the Astrobot DualSense wireless controller will return later this year with a slight twist, so be on the lookout for more news coming soon. From all of us at Team Asobi, thank you all for the amazing reception you gave our game, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Memories go, memories stay. Remnants. This is an interesting art style. Kind of looks a little bit like Sea of Thieves a little bit. Whoa. I like the wackiness of this.
Memories go, memories stay, chasing the sound of the waves. It always sways, it always strays, standing on the beach all day. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, kind of the combat system. All right. Whoa. A boss? Looks like it. Mariel is dead. She's been slain. Oh no. It looks like a turn-based RPG maybe? Or is it an action RPG? I won't lie, this is actually looking pretty cool. Remnants. Okay. Impressive. I'm noticing a lot of these announcements are for next year. So it's quite possible that there's really not much. It's going to be a longer drought for PlayStation this year. You throw the word journey, journey into any game, people are going to, their eyebrows are going to raise. Journey was such a special game during its time. It released at such a unique time in the gaming industry that really like catalysted indie developers in a lot of ways. It leaned purely in its aesthetic and its artistic envisionment of the game. It's definitely got that same vibe as Journey, though. Ooh, I like this art style, though. Okay. Because the gameplay of Journey is very simple. It's just mobility. But the mobility can be quite fun because it allows for like a lot of like high speed momentum. And we're seeing it really does got the same DNA as Journey in a lot of ways. I don't know if they'll ever hit the same high note that Journey got, but it still looks very impressive.
Look at Sword of the Sea, a visually striking adventure from the team behind Abzu and Pathless. We're excited to announce that Sword of the Sea will launch this summer into the PlayStation Plus game catalog. On June 17th, Remedy brings otherworldly action to game catalog with FBC Firebreak. In this cooperative FPS set in the paranatural world of Control, you and two fellow agents must confront and contain the reality-warping chaos found within the oldest house.
Ooh, that shotgun's got some
short
oomph
bursts
to it.
or deep dives, FBC Firebreak launches day one into game catalog on June 17th. The PlayStation Plus Classics catalog welcomes several new titles this summer. The PS2 version of legendary immersive sim Deus Ex arrives June 17th. In July, Twisted Metal 3 and
brother
Twisted
will
Metal
love
4
that.
joined the service just in time for the second season premiere of Twisted Metal, which arrives July 31st in select countries, including Peacock in the US. Additionally, 2 of Capcom's most beloved games from the original PlayStation are set to join the Classics lineup.
Sneevils. 2
Resident
and
Evil
3.
2 and Resident Evil 3 will arrive later this summer.
I
in
love the
Classics
OG Resident Evil 3.
Additionally,
better soon?
Myst
Yeah,
and
I'm
Vivid
not
will
really
arrive
like
later this
sick.
month
I'm
as
just
part of the
I'm
Days of Play celebration,
reacting.
running
I'm
now
being
through June
reactive
11th.
to the high pollen count in
Days
my
of
area.
Play is a 2-week event that
The-
includes
it
bonus
clogs up my
PlayStation Plus
throat.
content drops, great deals on software and hardware, and more. Visit PlayStation Blog and PlayStation.com for full details.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
It's on MGM Studios.
Of every major
Oh, whoa! Is this James Bond?
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors
Is that actor
all praise his
Morgan
instincts.
from
All in
Walking
need of
Dead?
early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what
There's
he did
them.
in Iceland.
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks
The
to
nature of James Bond, that's who he is.
Reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Oh, we're covering a young Bond. MGM's joining the gaming industry. He's
have an
pretty high
appointment?
quality looking.
James Bond. He's with me.
Oh, is that
pleasure? Now let's not get
forgot her
ahead of
name. Starts with
ourselves,
P.
James.
There's Q.
So you shouldn't have.
Yeah, there's no way that's combat.
We're
That
facing a
looks too
situation with
cinematic.
the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
Okay, here we go. Gameplay.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the end game is, we won't see it.
Gameplay format of 007 games is perfect. I just don't know why they have not been able to execute it in a long while. But this is looking pretty dope. This is looking very good. This looks like a John Wick experience.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
The last time I had a blast with a 007 game was a PlayStation 2 one that was also a third-person shooter one too. I forgot what it was called. It had the guy with the silver grill on him, big guy. I forgot the game.
Headhunting.
Nice potential. First light. Nice. This looks pretty good. We have a
I suppose
one that
this is
respects the
another
brand.
teachable moment.
I want the young blonde or a young Bond. Golden gun.
Hello, I'm Hakan Abrak, CEO of Iron Interactive. The team is thrilled to announce 007 First Light. You'll experience James Bond as a young aircrewman in the Royal Navy. Before the tuxedo and the martinis, as he first steps into the world of espionage, striving to earn his 00 status. Everyone at Iron Interactive has poured the passion and dedication into crafting an experience that honors the legacy of Bond, harnessing our 25 years of agent expertise. This is just the beginning of our journey with 007, and we can't wait to share more with you soon.
The big thing with the 007 games is that you gotta have a wide diversity of gameplay formats between, card chases, hand-to-hand combat, gunplay, gadget gathering, stealthing. It's a lot of different mini games all comprised together. It's very important to get that right. A lot of people get all caught up with GoldenEye from the N64 as just an action game, It was, but it also had a lot of other like little mini games as well. But the real trick to making a Bond game work is having many different gameplay mechanics coming together in unison. Especially today, that's necessary. First look at the new Ghost of Yotai, really.
You're still with me?
This is supposed to come out this year. Oh, the wolf. You didn't see any gameplay though? There's just more teasering. Oh, coming in July. Okay, so they're dedicating an entire stream to Ghost of Yotai in July. Arc system works. No shot! Are you kidding me? Arc System Works is working on the new Marvel game? The new Marvel fighting game? No shot! They're the ones doing it? Really? Is that a reason why they added a 3v3 to Guilty Gear Strive? There's no way it's a 1v1 fighting game. There's no way. Is it like a group? Oh, I'll have to see. Is it a tag fighter? Is it a group-based fighter where it's like multiple platforms? What kind of fighter is this? No, it's Arcs. It's gotta be a 2D fighter. Arc System Works is putting in so much work. Yeah, it's a 2D fighter. Oh, this art style. Oh, this art style. Hold up, hold up. What did I just see there? Oh, I love this. This art style. Oh my god. Is that freaking Iron? That's a really wild looking arm, man. He looks like a Power Ranger. Okay, that looks like Marvel 3 there. Okay, so there's a tag fighter. There's 2 fighters. Is there gonna be a 3 fighters? So we see 2v2 right now. It looks like Marvel Infinite right now. Oh wow, they carried over the stage transition from Guilty Gear Strive, really? Oh my god, it is a 3v3! It is taking over Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom is gone, and they are taking over the 3v3 format. Literally, this is the greatest robbery in fighting game history. Literally, Arc System Works has stolen the 3v3 property from Capcom. Capcom no longer owns 3v3. Now it is entirely owned by Arc System Works. They did it with Dragon Ball FighterZ, and now they are doing it with Marvel game. Oh my god. The greatest robbery in history. Oh my god. I love this. Oh wow, is that Ghost Rider? I want to get a good look at their art designs. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the way that Star-Lord looks. He looks awesome. Ghost Rider's a little bland. I'm not gonna lie. Where's the leather coat? Where's the trench leather? You know, the big leather coat, the biker look. He kind of looks like he's in a jumpsuit. I'm not digging that. Fucking Dr. Doom, really? They threw Dr. Doom. Is he actually gonna do the one-punch kill that he does on Thanos? This is based off another Ghost Rider named Robbie Reyes. Okay. I'm not as familiar with that one then. This is gonna be the one-punch kill? Okay, no, it's not. He just like dome shot Go to hell. I don't care about the style effects, just dome shot. Like the Joker fatality, just straight dome shot. Wow. This is based off of another Ghost Rider, yeah. Oh, dude, this game is going to dominate. Oh, there's Storm. Dude, Storm looks awesome. This is the best looking Storm I've seen yet. What the fuck? 4v4? How did you get that high? There's no way you can do more than 3v3. How do you pull off a 4v4 tag battle? How the fuck do you pull that off? What? That's not possible. There's not enough buttons on the controller. That's not possible. That's impossible. Oh yeah, the girl is with the stretchy powers. Her name is Miss Marvel. Yeah, I'm familiar with Miss Marvel. You were surprised as well. How do you pull this off? This doesn't make any sense. And I'm here for it. What the hell? It's absolute. Okon Fighting Souls. The TFS is what people are going to call it. Marvel's TFS. People are hoping that it's a 6-button fighter. It's not. It's gonna need more than 6 buttons. It's gonna need all 8 buttons. If you're fighting on a fight stick, you're gonna need all 8 buttons. And if you're fighting on a fucking controller, they're gonna have to be hotkeying, where they're like you hold a trigger and then press a different button. They're gonna have to do a hotkey input. There's no friggin' way you're gonna have enough inputs for this many characters. Unless they super simplify the input design. They have to super simplify it. Which could work. You know, tag fighters are already, by their very nature, input simplistic. They're just complex and mechanically. So, big fan of the naming, Tokon Fighting Soldiers. It doesn't, or Tokon Fighting Souls doesn't quite jive with me, but the game looks beautiful. It looks good. Arc System Works fucking killing it. I'm hearing that character designs are done by the same person who did My Hero Academia. That makes sense, honestly. You know, I'm not familiar with My Hero Academia entirely. I know its art style, but it's artistically, it makes sense. You know, it's got that comic book arty anime, comic book art style mixed with anime art style colliding together. It definitely has got that vibe. Fucking wild. This game is gonna be a fucking mess when it comes to balances. Oh my god. But I'm here for it. Honestly, I don't know how Arc System Works keeps doing this, but they keep pushing the envelope forward when it comes down to gameplay design. They are, without a doubt, one of the most bold gameplay studios I've ever seen. One thing I would love to see come back is grid-based fighting where you have multiple platforms. I did hear that Diesel Legacy has that, so it's definitely a game that I'm thinking about picking up real soon. I have the demo downloaded, I just never got around to playing it. But still, you know, just what? What? Really? Really? As Harada would say, really? Panda? Really? Marvel? Really? Dude, this presentation from Sony was very impressive. This has been good. 3 big hitters. Let's see here. So Marvel's Tokon fighting game, the new 007 game, bunch of more smaller projects. For me, Final Fantasy Tactics is big, but I would imagine that would fall smaller for a lot of people. Silent Hill F being a huge property. Pragmata will definitely gain some attention because it is Capcom. But yeah, Silent Hill F. The announcement of the Ghost of Yotai for this year, but no gameplay reveal. Some people would say Sword of the Sea, given the reputation of the developers, but it looked a little bit timid with that game in particular. It looks cool, but it's a little bit timid. 007, huge game. That's two properties right there. The third one here being the Marvel game. They went big for these last two right here. These two properties in particular, that's huge. I keep seeing jokes online. People are saying that Capcom messed up so much on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It did, but here's the thing. It's not entirely Capcom's fault. That was also because the Marvel property was going through a lot of changes and they were kind of kneecapped. It's not entirely their fault, but it was also during the era in which fighting games were really struggling under Capcom supervision at that time. So some of it still is their fault, some of it isn't. Either way, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite marked the end of the fighting game era of Capcom fuckery. You know what I mean? So yeah, Marvel went to another studios to make a better game. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We don't know if it's a better game yet. It looks very impressive. And artistically, it looks beautiful. And Arc System Works is killing it. They're going to blow up. Currently, they are the biggest creme de la creme when it comes to fighting game studios. They are so sought after. It is no joke. They are probably the biggest and most successful fighting game studio currently. They are just getting so many properties and they are pushing it out and they're keeping up with quality really well. So, yeah. Voice is starting to go out. You can hear it. No shot. No. Don't tell me there's more. Don't tell me there's more. Yeah, sneaky bitches. Don't do it to me. Max said he lost his mind seeing that trailer. Oh yeah, I bet. I'll have to check it out later.
プレイステーションの友人から急になんか飲みに行こうぜっていう連絡が来て、なんのこっちゃと思って。
This is how Arc System Works got a hold of the property.
まあちょっと飲んでる中で実はアークの方でマーベルの格闘ゲームを作ってみないかというような提案をいただきまして。
I thought that the Marvel fighting game was going to go over to DC.
いや本当に聞いた時はびっくりしましたね。
I honestly believed that the Mortal Kombat developers would have got their hands on the game. I'm glad it went to these guys instead. I still love NetherRealm Studios. I still think that they do great work despite their fuckery as of late. They're not in a bad enough state where, you know, they are, you know, considered deviant in the eyes of the community. They're definitely fucked up quite a bit and burned some goodwill with their community, and even not just that, but the consumer base in general. But they're not in the state that Capcom was in when they made the fuckery with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But still, I thought that they were going to secure this IP. I thought it was definitely going to be theirs. I never in a million years would have thought that Arc System Works would secure this title and do a 4v4 at that. But to get their hands on this IP, that's a huge victory. Like, they already won big with Dragon Ball already as it is. And now to secure Marvel at the same time, in the same the same generation, Arc System Works. Gods among gods in fighting games right now. Seriously, they are killing it. What's even more crazy is that they didn't go to Marvel. Marvel came to them. That you understand that how big that is for a studio as big as Marvel, not just a studio, but the suits at Marvel to approach you. That's fucking huge. It's one thing for you to come to them begging for the IP, but for them to come begging you, holy shit. You know you're in top tier gaming then. Fucking A. This looks so good. Don't tell me that's the Hulkbuster. Oh, dude, the presentation. Look at that shit. The presentation. Dude, that looks so good. The flare, the Ric Flair. Oh my God. Dude, this game is going to be something wild. Oh my God. 2XKO is going to get cut off at the knees right now, too. This 2XKO is going through some serious drama. And look, I like 2XKO when I played the beta, but it had its issues. Still, if it's coming out and releasing roughly around this time period and competing with this game's gonna steal all the thunder. No doubt about it. No matter how great an IP League of Legends is, it won't hold a water to this game, even if this game is not well received gameplay wise over a period of time. It has more of that flair.
The inspiration,
and also what's important is that it has good single player content. That'll secure this game to be a mainstay in the future.
for working on this project really came from a place of pure fandom and wanting to say, why isn't PlayStation in this space?
So PlayStation approached us with this vision to bring Marvel back to the forefront of the tag fighting genre. And that got us really excited because we had worked with them before on successful stuff like the Marvel Spider-Man franchise with Insomniac.
When it came to approaching Marvel, you have to kind of first float the idea and let them know, hey, you know, we're thinking about
this game's getting me on PlayStation and PC.
With you to do this really great collaboration. Would you be interested?
When they named the developer.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm glad that the game is on PlayStation and on PC. I hope it's not just on those two platforms alone, because fighting games live and die in large communities. And so the larger the community, the better. Having it on Xbox would also be great. So that way all three platforms can play together. Having it on Nintendo Switch 2 would be great. So that way it can play on all four platforms. The more platforms that can play this game, the better. I understand limitations with gameplay design and limitations of hardware design. Figure out a way. Figure it out. The more people that has access to the game, the better. Even if you can't cross-play everyone, just get it out on as many fucking platforms as you can. I always worry with exclusivity because I know that exclusivity is great to get the initial funding for the development of the game, but it excludes so many people from having access to the game. And yes, you can have PlayStation and PC playing together cohesively, but I'm a little worried about that. It could be that the workaround is that if the game's on Steam, then maybe Xbox can still play the game via Steam that way, you know, but we'll see. I'm a little worried about that. You're definitely gonna master Spider-Man because he's your favorite character in all of Marvel. You and billions of others, man. He is so popular. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Spider-Man is so popular as a character that Sony themselves bought the IP of Spider-Man from Marvel. They own the IP of Spider-Man. And not only that, but they didn't buy it from tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. They bought it for billions of dollars. And they only bought it just for that IP alone. And they bought it because the name of Spider-Man and what Spider-Man represents is so popular across the world, especially after the original Spider-Man, you know, live action movies with Tobey Maguire. So big, very big.
Developer, that really perked up our ears. It's always refreshing to work with a team that will take on the challenge of tackling Marvel, putting their own spin on it, and then just uppercutting that challenge into the stratosphere. And that's what you get with this team. I mean, they couldn't make something boring if they tried.
社長からも本当に作れるんだったらぜひやりたいでっていうことを言われました。まあ話を受けてしまった以上これは私がプロデューサーなのかなっていうところで。
The tricky thing is that most fans, including myself, see this as a sacred genre for Marvel. The tough part is finding a partner that's crazy enough to take on the task, because you either do something like this big and bold or you don't do it at all.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I feel like I have a good grasp on their art style and how they would approach certain IPs. You come in with your kind of own expectations of, here's what I would expect to see from Arc System Works when they take on a Marvel IP. And what came up was something that went beyond that.
Jesus. One looks dope.
一番最初にマーベルさんに提出した時はなんとなくマイケルさんの反応はあんまり芳しくなかった印象があって、まあ、何がまずいのかなっていろいろこうやっぱり直接話していくうちにもっとアークのやりたいマーベルを見せてくれというような話をいただいたことがあって。
I remember.
Oh my God, that is awesome. That never ever happened. So what that statement was that the developers initially created a game artistically that they thought that the company of Marvel wanted to see, and they turned it down because they're like, we know that you have a peculiar art style, we want you to embrace it, take our IP and run wild with it. That never happens. That means they're not getting the oversight of the producers that are saying, do this, do that, do this, do that, make this, that. That's how you staunch creativity. The producers are giving them free reign. Produce the game that you want to make. That's promising. That's just not promising. That is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. That's so good. That's so good.
Personally, the first time I saw Iron Man was really when I felt we had something special.
なので今回のアイアンマンのデザインを皆さんご覧いただければわかると思うんですけども、かなりこう日本らしいアークシステムワークスらしいデザインっていうのが、出ているかなと思うので、マーベルの皆さんの反応がすこぶる良くて、あ、これなんだみたいないう感じで。
Iron Man is supposed to be the sleek fighter jet, think luxury race car mixed with a brick house.
Okay, I get it.
And the fact that they added anime mech elements to him just felt.
Yeah, I mentioned that it looks like an anime. The game being Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Some people are preparing this game by playing another crossover game that this company made. Oh, Blaze Blue. Okay, now I get it because I didn't see the previous comment. Okay. Yeah, I could totally see that. That would make sense. Yeah, I could see overlap there.
Really naturally at home.
One of the mantras that we have for this project is from Japan to the world, and really trying to take not just the IP but gameplay mechanics and say, what can we really take from Japan, the creators that are doing awesome work here, and bring that to the global platform.
まあ特別なところいっぱいあるんですけど、まあ本当にやっぱり強調すべきは、まあ格闘ゲームのチームバトルの中では4対4というのがまず本当に意欲的で挑戦的なところだというところと。
When ARC looks at these Marvel characters, it's not simply just the visuals, it's also the gameplay mechanics and adding in that, what is that pop? What is going to be something that's different? Up until now, you've seen tag fighters that have 2v2, 3v3. We felt like we just had to go 4v4.
Okay, here's the thing. This is my major concern with the game then. Do you have enough characters? Yes, we know that there are plenty of Marvel characters that exist. But on release, will you have enough characters? Because here's the thing. The reason why 3v3 fighting games work the way they do, or 2v2, is because the roster is large enough where you have a large diversity of characters that change gameplay elements significantly. If you have a roster of 22 characters, it's not going to be enough. I mean, it'll be a lot of characters, but it will staunch some creativity at a certain point. You're going to need a really large roster, which can create some conflict too at the same time. Some people may think that 22 is enough. I don't think so for a 4v4. There's going to be too much overlap with character rotations. And also, how fast is the game going to move? One of the biggest issues with Dragon Ball FighterZ is that timeouts happen really quickly. So with 4 characters, that means there's 4 health pools. So how do you kill players quick enough? You have to make the time to kill pretty quick.
And in doing so, we found a lot of unique and fun ways to change up the gameplay that I think players are going to be very excited to see.
今回4対4という、革新的なところにチャレンジしている中で4キャラクター練習しないと勝てないんじゃないのとか安心してください。
Learning 4 characters is extremely daunting, but the team at Arc System Works has found a way to design a system that adapts to your playstyle. So you could either duke it out as just the leader and 3 assists, or you can tag in your assists to swap the leader and change the matchup on the fly.
I don't think a lot of people thought this day would be here, would come. You know, this has just been an awesome journey, and I'm excited that we get to be able to share it with all the fans out there.
I'll tell you right now, a lot of fighting games, they never get to experience this level of production, and it's just a dream to even be working with these two great partners.
それは決してビジネスという枠組みではなくて、それぞれの強い思いの中でこのタイトルを成功させよう、いいゲームにしてファンに届けようと。
The three companies have come together to do this, and I think we really are going to make something magical here.
このタイトルですね。
Honestly, this is equivalent to an SNK versus Capcom. I would even say it's even greater than, because in a lot of ways, SNK versus Capcom, when it released, it was a defining game of its genre. Not only because it was the colliding of two major fighting game companies, but it was a collaboration between two major fighting companies that dominated everything. Currently, this would be something that rivals that. It may not be a versus game, but what it is a large-scale cooperation between multiple studios driven by a dream. This may change everything. This may very well change everything. I'm so excited for this. I'm not the biggest fighting game person, but I do want to try it too. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. And like, look, I'm a huge fighting game player. I love fighting games, but I want to try it. Tag fighting games are not my cup of tea. I don't typically am drawn towards tag fighters because I like my games very like compact and mechanically focused. And my biggest gripe with tag fighters is that they're mechanically dense, and so it gets really overwhelming, and controlling the chaos is really intense. And people like that. There are many people that love that, love watching that, seeing that. It's very hype. But for me, it can be very overwhelming. So I like my games more simplistic. But that's impressive nonetheless, and I'm definitely going to try it.
まだまだ開発途中ではありますが、続々とキャラクターも発表していきたいと思いますし、キャラクター以外のコンテンツというところも今後いろいろ出ていくと思います。今しばらく楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思います。
Okay, the fact that he said that there's content outside of the characters is huge. That means that they are going to have a very good single player. I hope to God they have a very good single player experience, because this is just such a neglected part of gaming right now, especially on fighting games. It's, you know, I thought that, you know, with Street Fighter 6 there would be this whole big push for more single player content, and that's not happened. Yeah, there's been big innovations and big jumps in that area, but I really thought that with season 3 of Street Fighter 6 they would finally do a massive expansion to the game, like calling it Super Street Fighter 6, and doing a large World Tour expansion and a large update to the game, and that didn't happen. So I was really disappointed with that. So hopefully this becomes the game that reshapes the foundation of single player in fighting games, because in a lot of ways the game that did that initially was Mortal Kombat 9, and since then Mortal Kombat has kind of had a stranglehold on single player content. They recently kind of dropped that a little bit, and now Tekken took over it, but then they started dropping it over a period of time instead of upgrading that element. I would love to see a gameplay developer do both at the same time, where you're upgrading the multiplayer of the game and upgrading the single player of the game at the same time. There's got to be a way to do it. I can't imagine that it's impossible. You don't have to do it at the same pace, but I imagine there's got to be a way to do it, you know? That's just my mind at the very least. It's got to be possible. You know, I would love to see every 1.5 to 2 years a single player story expansion or a single player new challenge mode and game mode added for single player content that is engaging and invoking. You know, I would love to see things like that, but I don't see much of it nowadays, and to me it's sad. I think that there's a missed opportunity for casual experiences. I'd be happy to pay for an expansion for single player content. I'd be more inclined to buy that than costumes, to be honest. I would love to pay $20 for a single player expansion story mode. $15, $20, $10. You know, that was one of the big mishaps I think that ended up happening with Tekken 8 or Tekken 7. No, Tekken 8, because they sold the stage as DLC when that should have been free, but the single player content should have been paid access. For Grant, I have yet to play that game mode, but I've heard nothing but negativity around it. And that's the common sentiment that I just keep hearing all the time about it.
Stay tuned.
Dude, that looks dope. One looks dope as hell. Cool. Cool. Super dope. I'm guessing this is the end, right?
You're still with me?
Oh, wait, was there more? Okay, the end of it all. This was a good presentation. This was really impressive. Sony fucking killed it.
Battle is truly unavoidable.
Wide diversity of games, different formats, different genres. RPGs, action, horror, fighting, JRPGs, tacticals, indies. It hit every single note. Everything was good. This was a fantastic presentation. It may not be the greatest thing in the world, but it hit every note that it needed to hit and get people excited. I think the only blemish about this presentation is the fact that none of these games are releasing this year. All of these games are releasing next year. So though it's a very good presentation, a very exciting presentation, people have to wait. And that's the part that kind of sucks. That's the part that kind of stinks. And I think that's what made Xbox's showcase so well received last year, is that, or was it either earlier this year or at the end of last year, is that all these games were coming soon. And I think that that's where the big mishap is with a lot of development revolving around Sony's approach to these games, is that their announcements for these games are really long standing. And I get that they really need to sell these announcements now in order to keep investors happy and excited, and see, you know, investors not get spooked by some of the negativity revolving around it consumer wise. But I do think that they tend to prematurely shoot their wad a little too soon personally. That's just my perspective on it. That's the end of the presentation. Really good. Right, that is the end, right? What a lineup. Even, yeah, Metal Gear. I forgot about Metal Gear being a major lineup. Wow. Cool. I know nothing about gaming development, gaming making, or anything about that. I mean, I wouldn't say I know anything about it, but here's the thing: like, I follow the industry pretty closely. I read a lot of gaming journalists, and I consume a lot of gaming journalists that cover the development process and cover the intricacies of what goes on in gaming development, not necessarily the making of the game, but more like the political side of what's going on between the publisher and the developers, and what that communication line looks like. So I'm relatively aware of what that internal dialogue looks like, because those journalists do a great job of covering that. Many of them, at least, not all of them, many of them do a good job. And so that's how I know about it. But yeah, I do want to learn about that stuff, because I do want to learn about that stuff, about how that stuff is done, because I do feel like big and small content creators can make a game something special by great passion for the game that they always wanted to make. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more clear to that than a game like Expedition 33, where a small development studio is able to just blow up an entire genre. You know, they always say this: throwing money at the problem, or throwing money at a game, is not the solution to making a great game. If you have the financial backing to make a great game, you're in a very unique position that very few game developers have access to. But typically, when a game development studio gets thrown too much money, what ends up happening is that publishers get nervous about where that investment is going, and they get greedy, and they start they start putting all these constraints about what the game should have, and it compromises the vision of what the game should be. And this hurts the game in the process. More often than not, when game vision fails, 90% of the time, it's usually managerial mistakes. And because of that, it compromises the game itself. And that's why, like, people get frustrated with a lot of it. There are very few cases in where game development actually fails. Like, I think that a great example of this would be Concord and Marathon right now, which is unfortunate that Marathon's going through that. Both of those games have a flawed vision right off the bat. And it's flawed because the identity in the focus of the game was never very clearly thought out. And I'm not talking about the stealing of assets in Marathon. I'm talking about the entire envisionment of the game was compromised right off the bat. It looks rushed. It looks incomplete. It looks not just poorly managed, but also looked like it was meant to be something else at one point in time, and then it changed. That's what it looks like to me. And then you got a game like Concord, which clearly the passion was there. The developers wanted the game to succeed, but it missed timing. It missed the a vision that is exciting for consumers. But what it really missed more than anything else was there's this thing where when people initially think of your game, there is an immediate reaction, and you have a responsibility as a publisher, as a developer, to immediately to pay attention to what that immediate response is. We saw the same thing happen with the Suicide Squad game, where immediately when people saw the game, they were like, yeah, I don't know about this. And instead of learning from that feedback and seeing what it is that's drawing people away from it and trying to fix that, they double down. And that's a flawed vision. That means that your vision isn't cohesive with the vision of what people want right now. Either it's already being fulfilled or it's already been ran dry. And so that's a big problem with a lot of game developers, is that they don't seem to understand that. They don't seem to understand that sometimes it could be the missing of the time. It could be that people are burnt out. It could be that it's an oversaturated market. It could be a lack of vision about aesthetic designs. It could be many things, you know. But the biggest thing is that you need to be aware of it. And I think that this is a very common issue with the industry in general. Yeah.